You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
Yo, what's Gucci, what's shaking, man? It's your girl Ash Cash, 15 Minutes of Fame, punchlines of politics. Look what I got in the building, man.
Put your money where your mouth is.
KOTD.
Hey.
You guys introduce yourselves.
Organik, king of the diet, you already know what it is. Shit.
Gully TK, if it ain't GZ, it don't count. Sauga City.
DJ Doctor, King of the Dot official. What up?
Micaiah, King of the Dot East Coast, Team Hami.
All right, so you guys just had pretty much a crazy ass event. This event was really, really dope. How do you guys feel about the event?
I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. You know?
Phenomenal. One of the best events ever.
I think it's one of those things, you know, I always just act like this after events because it's like so much to take in that you don't really realize the significance of it all until it kind of like, you know, when you run events and everything, you're kind of just, your head always in a million places, you know, but I'm happy with it. The battles were fucking fire. Iron Solomon and B Magic lived way beyond expectation. I think every battle, you know, was solid other than, you know, maybe
What was your favorite battle of the night?
Solomon and B Magic.
What was yours?
Hollow and Pat.
Okay, so there was one battle that didn't go down, which was Thesaurus versus Math. What happened with that?
You know, I'll let Matt speak on that. I'm not, you know, here to speak on anybody's issues on why they didn't show up or anything. You know, shit happens, life happens.
It just didn't go down.
Yeah, we didn't know till last minute, you know, shouts to Matt, but, you know, stuff happens, I guess, right? Like, it's battle rap when you put together, you know, 20 artists on a card and stuff. You know, one person's bound to have something that come up and something like that, and I guess it's just one of those scenarios.
Is it hard to keep up with, because battle rap is changing now. It went from it being 1 or 2 or 3 leagues now to being like hundreds of leagues. Is it hard for you to keep up? Well, not really keep up, because you know you guys are king of the dot, but...
I mean, I don't think it's really, you know, Gully, he works. You know, he's the one that kind of like breeds the talent and everything for King of the Dot, you know.
It's very hard.
But like, yeah, other leagues or anything, you know, they ain't really a threat to us. I don't look at anybody as like a real like threat to us because we know what we're doing, and like I don't think other people are willing to work as hard as us. So until I see other people that are like really like about this life, you know what I mean? Like you can't do what we do and work a 9 to 5. You can't do what we do and not be building with each other all the time, waking up at 9 in the morning and talking to each other till 3 a.m. Like this is what we do. You know what I mean? Like so like nobody's really. I'm never worried. I'm not threatened by anybody because I don't feel like people are willing to sacrifice what we are for this, you know, and what we already have sacrificed for it. So.
And how do you pick the talent for it? So you have 2 smaller platforms. You have the GUZs and then PYs.
Yeah, Prove Yourself is just anybody kind of entering that doesn't have footage or they're still kind of working on their craft. GZs like the guys that are, they pretty much could be up here with the big guys. It's just there's little things that need to be fixed here and there, and I'll kind of like help them and build them up so that they do have the demand. Like Shoddy P, for example, he started. I saw him battle in Detroit on Bar Wars. Right away, I was like, yo, like your GZ quality. Like there's a few little things that I could help you with, and I put him through GZ. Did like 3-4 battles, and it was just like this guy's ready. Like he's crushing it. So it's kind of where we build up the talent and see, like, you know, it's either you make it or you don't make it to the big stage. But there's a lot of hungry guys in GZ, and for example, tonight, you guys saw Shoddy P, that's the future right there. So.
What do you think, how does a battler qualify to be in the GZs or to make it past the PYs? How do they go from one level to the next?
Prove Yourself, it's pretty much anybody. If you just send me a video you rapping and eventually you'll get a battle, but GZ, like, you gotta be talented. You gotta have the delivery, the bars, the presence. You gotta kind of have the full package. You might be missing a little something, but it ain't nothing to help that person or build them up till they get the buzz and demand behind them, so that they're ready for the main stage. But there's a lot of trash out there I deal with. I'm not gonna lie. But the guys that are in GZ, it's the best league in the world.
Gully got a tough job, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people that do like the talent recruiting for leagues and stuff like that, they're kind of like underlooked and shit like that as far as like their work ethic and everything, because, you know, they're not the people that everyone's like, yo, shout out to this guy for putting on this crazy battle, because they wading through the garbage. And, you know, not to say garbage, because everybody got to try it, but like, they building people and teaching people and you know what I mean, and giving the baby steps and teaching people how to walk in this stuff, and it's an underappreciated job. You know, him, Norbs, all those people that do that, it's underappreciated work. You know.
Shout out to Norbs. I know he knows what I have to go through, so I appreciate it.
He was definitely in the building tonight.
Yeah, Norbs are man.
So when did you guys bring? Has Akaya always been? Have you always been involved or always been on board? When did you come along on this journey?
So I grew up on hip hop, but you know, like all of us here, but I found battle rap just about 3 or 4 years ago, and went to my first event like 2.5 years ago, and started kicking it with these guys, became friends, and it kind of just grew from there. It was something I wanted to get involved in. I have a little bit of a background in promoting in a past life, but this was just something that I really, you know, I fuck with the culture, I believe in it, and I want to help push it forward.
What do you think is the next level for battle rap? Like getting the culture ahead in the game. What do you think is the next level for it?
I think the next level for battle rap is probably us making household names out of some of our stars, just pushing it forward till, you know, we've had a lot of people that have gotten real close. Murder Mook, Loaded Lux. These are guys that have become household names, and I think just finding that next, you know, diamond in the rough that can push the culture forward. I think that's what we need to focus on.
I don't even know if it needs another level, man. It's pretty fucking dope right now.
I really don't, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I think.
And we seen.
Go.
I've seen what happened when money tries to get involved in this shit, right? That's not how Organik's talking about how hard we work. Like when we came up, you know, being from Canada and shit, like automatically people weren't trying to like pay attention to us necessarily like as much as something from the States, like from grind time spot. We had to work really, really hard to get there. And that's why you see in our events and how everything's organized, it's taken years to put this together and to make it that smooth. It's something we built organically, no pun intended. So money and like, yo, next level's like, we're gonna fucking get a sponsorship. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's what we need. Like, we just need to keep moving. And yeah, be a star-driven product and get these guys' brands out there, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it doesn't have to be money-wise. Just in general, like you always, because everything you want to do, you always want to reach higher for it. So is there anything that you could think of that you would want to see taken to the next level besides the artist?
I mean, I just think the whole culture itself, I don't really think it needs like too much of a push forward. It's kind of good what it is. I like the fact that it's a subculture. I think that's why everyone reps it so proudly, that you have something that everyone in the world is accustomed to. It's not really something to be proud to represent, you know what I mean? It's not like, I think battle rap itself is just one of those things that pushes itself forward and whatnot. Like, as far as pushing people certain brands, like that's something obviously as a league and everything you're meant to do. You know, we're meant to push individual brands, the league's brand, and just the culture forward in general.
Well, let me ask you guys something, Organik and Gully. There's this card that everybody speaks of, the Gully versus Organik card.
Yeah, he fucked up. He dead.
What is that about? Is that your shooters versus your shooters?
Something like that, you know, it's just an idea. We bounce off each other because, you know, me and Gully are good friends, so like we just naturally talk shit to each other on the fucking regular, you know, and that's pretty much just what it is. You know, it started off like, okay, you think, you know, you can do this, well, you know, put it up, put your money where your mouth is. But like, you know, it's one of those things. It's like Gully works hard. I see it, I recognize it, you know what I mean, and he has an outlet that a lot of people are pushing forward, and it's kind of like we just want to throw an event per se to kind of showcase that talent and allow people that are in higher positions to hold their spot. A lot of battle rappers these days are only trying to take steps forward. No one trying to hold ground. Everybody looks at like holding ground like it's a step back, but when you're in competition, sometimes if you're number 3, you got to fight number 5 to prove that you're still number 3 and not let that guy become number 3. Mm-hmm. But battle rappers, they have this like mentality where it's like that's like a bad thing or something. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's what made it entertaining. Catching a body should be entertaining. That's what's going to build your fan base. If every battle you have is close, it's not speaking much on you. You know what I mean? You need to have like that one battle where you prove you're a step ahead of the other. And that's almost like Diz and Jonah was the one battle that we were like, you know, going to headline it with when we first started talking. And like, that's kind of like the mentality that was going in with that, because Diz really wasn't hip to it. But then he was like, you know, I need to prove that I am a league ahead of this kid, and he's just got his second battle doing this, and I have to represent for everyone that's been doing this for a long time to prove that there is a gap and you need to work to get to where we are. You know what I mean? So Gully's been taking a lot of these battlers and like literally putting them through the gauntlet. Shotty P didn't get an easy road to get on King of the Dot. Shotty P battled 6-7 times, traveling to Toronto from Detroit to represent and put on and make himself a name that people are behind. And I think it showed off. He didn't go up there. He doesn't get the jitters. He's not nervous or nothing. He knows what the crowd's going to react, and that's because like he's been trained by Gully to be in that position.
I had a couple people say they thought XL and Shotty was battle rap.
Yeah, it was a great battle.
Yeah, great reaction, man. The crowd loved it.
Shout out to XL too. He came through and did his thing, man. I fuck with XL. I fuck with all of them, man. It's for me personally. I get more excited watching the people come up. That's kind of like the reason why we pushed our own career to the side and did this, is because like we get more excitement out of watching people rise. You know what I mean? Other people. So when you have battlers that are at this plateau and they're already making money, it's cool to keep them going. But it's exciting to see that one person come in and be excited about this all, and it kind of like brings the excitement out of you too, right? So.
Well, I'm gonna create a shit talking moment real quick. You pick 3 shooters, and you pick 3 shooters. Who would you guys put up against each other? You versus you. We're gonna do the Gully versus Organik card. Preview.
Well, I gotta say 100 Bullets, because he came through the GZ route. So him, Shotty P, 100%, and maybe Realistic or Psychosis, one of them, because they both came through GZ basically. Like it's almost like a GZ King of the Dot card, but there's a couple people that went straight to King of the Dot that I had like recruited, whatever you want to call it. So that's why it's a Gully versus Organik thing. But yeah, man, there's so many. But yeah, I guess those guys.
Okay, so that's his 3.
I'd like to see Pat go against someone that's on the come up. Pat's been battling top tier competition for so fucking long that I think, like, you know what I mean? It's just intriguing to watch that gap and see if he can really excel himself to be that far ahead of the next come up. Disaster, because Diz is hungry. He gives 100% in almost everything he fucking does in life. And that's something you gotta admire about him. He's not someone that sits back. The third person, I'd probably pick someone like Caustic or you know what I mean, someone a little different than what people would expect. But I think Caustic is someone that possesses the ability to really showcase, you know what I mean, and prove the gap. So Gully's fucked, pretty much, man.
That's the thing. You give my guys a shot, they're gonna show you that
Shit now.
We'll
see.
I mean, a few of them. I'm not gonna get too cocky and say a few. They're gonna beat everybody, but there is a couple. We will find some. We will find the new guys that are the new talent. We have to start building them up. So
I think Blackout was good for that because battle rap went through this weird transitional phase where people are only trying to see big names, and the second you announce an up and comer, people are like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? And all the YouTube comments. But now it's funny. People see new names and they're excited because the names that we all praise to be the big, they stopped giving a shit once they started getting the checks, and they start showing up well, I didn't give a fuck. It was a check, but you're alienating yourself from your fan base when you do that shit, and that's you want to see people there's no money, no one's winning or losing, so you want to see at least the people put their fucking emotions on the line or something, you know what I mean? So that's what makes it exciting about watching these kids come up and all these people, because they're putting in the work, they're into this for a different reason. They're not making money off this. This is a hustle for them to get known and something they wake up every single day and think about and are excited about, and it's changing their life, you know what I mean? It's changing their friendships. It's it's a different feeling dealing with rappers like that than dealing with the people that are already well established.
How do you feel about the culture vultures?
It's the same way. We pretty much share the same thoughts. We deal with this every day. That's what it is. These big guys, they come for a check, and it's the new guys that are hungry. And Blackout show, we put 7 new faces on there, and they all did extremely well. Everybody killed it. So it showed that we can throw a card with a bunch of new names, and the people will be interested. So that's why it's okay, let's do the Gully versus Organik thing. Hopefully we can find some new guys, and my guys can crush his.
Doctor versus Goods too.
Yeah, we got our
DJ versus King of the Dot.
I ain't trying to battle. We'll go back to back, man. This is my man.
DJ Straight Good, shout out to him.
Already.
That's my GZ.
Good's got this, man.
I just bowed to Goods right there.
You won on the DJ tip.
Every time I come in, I'm Shazamming. I'm what the fuck, bro? This guy's got me Shazamming.
Hey, yeah, but I appreciate y'all, man. It shows 15 minutes of fame, man. What y'all do for hip hop and battle culture itself. You know what I mean? Battle rap needs outlets like y'all to help push ourselves forward. So
We appreciate y'all
Thank y'all,
showing us
man.
love every time.
Word.
You know what I
Thank
mean? I
you.
feel like not enough people do it, man, and I feel like bloggers and everyone, you guys are an important piece of the puzzle that is, you know, this culture. So
When you guys say it, it helps us know that we are. There's a tear right here. You see it?
I was gonna play the violin. I was gonna
He's got tears. If you can see him, he's got. Yeah.
Nah, that's dope though. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys.
Respect. Thank you.
So, are you satisfied with your performance tonight versus the performance you had when you did the one rounder?
I think that, and I could be wrong, but I think that Mook he don't interest me, man. He picking his fight selectively, and salute to him for how he move and how he, handles his business. But as a fighter, you want 15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.